After I, Win Jaffe, the chief forensic pathologist, submitted my request to transfer into a clerical position, everyone in the department lit up with joy and approved it unanimously. Everyone except my boyfriend's childhood friend, Yvette Hans, the rookie forensic doctor who called herself the Corpse Whisperer, completely broke down. She burst into my office, grabbed onto my white coat with both hands with reddened eyes. "Senior, your skills may be outdated, but I truly hope you'll stay and keep speaking up for the victims." I coldly shrugged off her hand, packed my things, and walked away. In my previous life, she claimed herself as the Corpse Whisperer, someone who could commune with the dead, hear their murmurs, and know what happened to them before they died. I worked tirelessly on every autopsy, dissecting, analyzing, and revising my reports. She only needed a single glance at the body to recite my entire report word for word. The victims' families treated her like a saint, while they sneered at me, accusing me of disrespecting the dead. I could not accept it. I poured everything I had into every examination, but she always beat me to it, revealing the truth before I could. In the end, an extreme group of grieving family members, convinced I desecrated a corpse, kidnapped me, dismembered me, and dumped my remains in the wilderness. When I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn back to the very day Yvette first claimed she was a corpse whisperer. "Mr. Lyons, the autopsy report is ready." A colleague's voice rang in my ears. I jerked my head up and froze at the sight of several familiar faces. "Dr. Jaffe, how many pages did you write this time?" Someone mocked me with his tone dripped with contempt. I sprang to my feet with widened eyes. When I looked at the familiar autopsy room, it hit me that I had been reborn on the very day my boyfriend's childhood friend claimed to be a corpse whisperer. "Dr. Jaffe, are you okay?" One of my colleagues was startled by my reaction and asked with concern. I could not be bothered to answer her. I shoved open the autopsy room door, rushed to the desk, and grabbed the freshly printed report. The pages were filled with meticulous notes, the results of my painstaking autopsies and careful analysis. I rushed into the office, determined to report my findings before Yvette could. However, just as I opened my mouth, her voice cut through the air. "The victim exhibits dark red liver mortis, with blood-tinged froth present in the oral and nasal cavities. The cause of death is manual strangulation. The perpetrator is approximately 5 feet 7 inches, and the estimated time of death is between midnight and 1 a.m. Last night." I whipped around. Yvette stood in the doorway. Her gaze was confident and unwavering. My face went pale white. The colleague beside me asked her, "How do you know that?" Yvette smiled faintly and answered bluntly, "I never had the chance to mention it before. I am actually a corpse whisperer. I can sense the spiritual world, hear the whispers of the dead, and know what they went through in life." In an instant, the world spun around me, and my vision went black. The scene was exactly the same as in my previous life. From that day onward, Yvette's identity as a corpse whisperer spread like wildfire. She became a sensation. Rumor had it, she was a messenger of the 9 nether realms, descended to a mortal world to save souls. She could coax the dead into revealing their stories without them suffering the second trauma of an autopsy. Families who had been afraid of the very idea of postmortem examinations began treating her like a deity. What do you need a chief forensic pathologist for? She solves everything in one sentence. While you just keep tormenting the bodies, you disrespect the dead. Do you even care what will happen to you? Their shouts and curses rained on me, but I never believed in ghosts or spirits. I refused to give up. After that, I poured every ounce of skill I had into the autopsy for every case, determined to prove myself. Yet every time, Yvette always beats me to it, exposing the truth first. Eventually, families who fear autopsies saw me as a desecrator of the dead. They accused me of defiling the victims' bodies, kidnapped me, brutally dismembered me, and left my remains in the wilderness. My parents were devastated. They tried everything to bring justice